What's up guys, my name is Your Heroes and welcome back to Call to Arms. I know you must be thinking, Zero, what the hell are you doing? It is, you usually upload every 2 days and it would be a different video considering you just did a Call to Arms the other day. I know, but let me explain myself. The reason I'm doing today's video is because I have just bought the season pass for Call to Arms, the DLC, and it's on for sale. And that means I now get the German and the Russian campaign, or I get them as a faction now. Now, there's something that I would like to discuss, and there's actually a couple of things that I'd like to discuss in today's video. Well, number one, I'll be discussing about the factions that have been in here, but they're actually still in beta. I didn't actually realise that. Number two, about the campaigns about the Russia and German campaigns that should be in the game already, but it's not. So, and also I'll be talking about the factions in themselves. So it could be about, so I'll be talking about I don't even know what I'm gonna say. Maybe I should listen to my subscribers more. Now, somebody did actually say yesterday, I can't remember, I'm not gonna mention any names, that I should write a script because I don't know what I'm saying, and it's very true. No, but English is my first language because I'm from the UK, but I have dyslexia, so sometimes I might get a bit mixed up with my words, or I tend to forget. And I know you told me you gave me really good advice, but it just really comes to the head, and when I write it down, I tend to forget. So literally everything is just coming out of the mind, which isn't really good, but I should write it down. But what I've done is besides from that, I'm in a training room, and what I've done is I've set up the Germans today, and I'm going to be going through all the, all the factions, or I guess all the stuff that is in the German faction. So I'm going to go through all the infantry, the engineers, and go through all of them. Now, unfortunately, I haven't brought all of this stuff out because I only actually have a maximum of 200 CP, or that just means the population cap, or CP means population, or yeah, whatever. So unfortunately I haven't managed to bring everyone out, or all the tanks out, or everything out, but I've managed to bring most of them out. So today I'll be discussing what's good about the Germans and what's bad about the Germans, and what could be improved upon in this German faction. And again, I'm going to go through all of it, well, mostly all of it, and then the next day I'll be concentrating on the Russian campaign. So if you do want to see the Russian campaign, let me know in the comments down below. But today we're going to be concentrating on the German faction. Now, first of all, I just want to talk about the DLC, the season pass. Now, Call to Arms, if you're listening, I just want to ask you a question. Why would you bring a season pass out if you're not bringing as a single player? Because what it says actually on the game itself when you buy the DLC is that the season pass comes with the German and the Russian faction, which I've got, which is okay. But then it says it comes with the Russian campaign, or single player campaign, and then the German campaign as well, single player, which is not there. And I've been on the Discord and I've been asking questions on their Discord server, but by the way, I'll leave that in the description. If you guys got any questions for them, then I'll leave it in the description, or Discord, because all of them are really friendly and nice. And apparently that the single player for the USSR, or Russia and Germany, USSR is World War II, but Russia and Germany, apparently the single player campaign should be coming out by early 2020, and I feel like that is, I feel like I've been ripped off, because currently it is on a discount. I bought it for £15 instead of £30, but I still feel like I've been ripped off quite a lot. And for all those who have been waiting a while, who's bought the season pass, I feel like that you're ripping them off too by only bringing out the faction, and you can only use it in conquest mode, but you can't use them. You haven't brought out any single player campaign for either of the factions, which again, I feel like I've been ripped off quite a lot. Look, if you're going to bring out a DLC, say that, explain that, there's a halt on the single player campaign, but will be out soon, because it says actually on the DLC season pass that it comes with the single player campaign, which is not, so it's a lie, and I feel like I've slightly been cheated with my money. Now I'm hopefully, now I'm not, I'm hopefully not the only one that sees this. I don't know if there's you guys see this too, but I feel like I've been slightly cheated in this. But other than that, I just want to say, Cult Arms, if you're going to release something, tell the truth. Don't you know, don't say that you're going to bring out something that isn't there. You know, I feel slightly annoyed, but on the other hand, I understand, because the German and the Russian campaign factions are in beta right now. They're not even in alpha test, so, or they haven't been fully released. So everything that you see here is probably subject to change, but everything, again, it's only in the beta stage, so again, everything could change, but I don't know. There actually is a few things that could change, like a few here. There's only, it only says like German soldiers, when clearly over here it says Offizier or Schützen and MG troop, and it only says German soldiers. So maybe that's something that Cult Arms will change, but in the meantime, I'm going to be going through them, and hopefully you guys do enjoy this. So we are going to go through, well, first of all, we're going to be going through the infantry, and I haven't brought all the infantry out. As you can see, there's a few dead bodies just to make room, just to get a few other things out. So what I've only brought out, I've brought out kind of like the Aufkehr, which is these guys right here. Now these guys are like the very starter troops. Like these are first things that you bring out to battle. Now these are the cheapest ones. They're 120 MPs, and they got some pretty good guns. I mean, from Aufkehr to, I think, MG troop, these troops use the same gun, the G36A3, and when I shoot it, it's actually quite a nice gun. I think it's a no, oh wait, I was going to say it's semi-automatic, but it's not. It definitely feels, the gun feels really nice, and you can definitely, I mean, it does kind of feel like the Americans, but I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but it definitely does feel nice. And the only thing that they also have is grenades and knife and smoke, which is real nice. So that's for all of kind of the first troops. Now moving, unfortunately, on, well, we're moving on to third one, because these are, because the second, because, you know, like I said, the first and the third, you know, troops of infantry are all the same. The uniforms are the same. I think the guns are the same, except on the third one you actually get a guy with MG43. So, and the MG43 is very nice, and that, you know what I like, a wee animation about that, at the bottom here you can see kind of like the ammunition running through, and it's a very nice motion, and I do like it. It's a wee animation there, or a wee motion that you see, and you can see this gun is very nice, and then you've got that really long reload. But other than that, that is all there is for the first three groups of infantry. Not much in it, except from the third one does have a medic over here, and a guy with a soldier with an MG43. Okay, moving on to the Panzer Grenadier. Now these guys, you can see that uniform is much different to, or you can see it's quite similar, but these guys have their armor, or the layout, I don't even know what I'm saying, what's the word for it, the layout, or their outfits, sorry, their outfits, that's it, or whatever you want to call them. These guys have a lot more armor, and I think they have different guns. These guys have the, I'm just going to check with you now if I can get it. No, actually, no, these guys have these infantry actually still have the same guns as the first three groups of infantry. As you can see, it's still the same, nothing else changes, maybe except from, I think there was one guy that, oh yeah, except from this guy, but all this guy has is just an extra scope at the top, so it just means that you're super accurate. And also these guys have also the MG34, so really nice. And also they do carry kind of like the same stuff as the first three groups of infantry, kind of like a standard grenade, a knife, and a smoke grenade. So other than that, these guys are well more protected, and they're and they can last longer in battle. So definitely these are the kind of go-to guys whether you have when you're against stronger groups of enemies, such as, you know, other kind of similar Russian or American troops that have got heavy armor. So definitely bring these guys out when the tough gets going, or you know what I'm saying. Now moving on to the second last one. These are Fallschmägers. I'm probably absolutely butchering that name, but these guys are loaded to the brim. Look at these guys. These guys have got backpacks on. These guys, the outfits that they got, they completely overpower, and these guys have the same guns as the rest of the infantry groups I've mentioned. As you can see, that I'm not going to try to shoot any of my, you know, allies as friendly fires on. Why, I don't know, but you can see that these guys have got the same guns. These guys are probably more accurate because they're more trained, but other than that, again, you got the guy with a MG34, but also these guys actually carry well, a soldier carries an AT gun, so if you're against any lightly armored fighting vehicles, you can blow them up to Kingdom Come. But I think that is it with these guys, and I don't know what the rucksack is for. Again, with the wait, this guy has a different gun. Oh wait, no, yeah. Oh wait, I didn't mean crouch. So this guy actually, a few of the infantry, I didn't realize that, actually have different guns. So this soldier has a G27, which to be honest, I'm not good with guns, so you guys are probably gonna have to tell me in the comments, but this gun actually feels a lot more accurate, and it feels a lot more that you could get out of this gun. But I don't think it's as rapid firing as the other, as a GS or G3 one, as this one. As you can see, that one's fast, kind of fast rapid, whereas this one is kind of like a very slow, it's still, you know, fast rapid, but not just as fast as the G3 one. Like you can hear the difference in it. Okay, so that was the Fallschmägers, or Fallschmägers, I don't know how to pronounce it. Last but not least, you have the KSK, probably one of the strongest infantry groups you have in your inventory. And these guys are loaded to the brim, and it looks like on their helmet, it looks like they have night goggles, or I don't know, or a flashlight at the top. Now these guys are primed and ready to go, and as you can see, these guys actually have silencers on them, as you can see. So that means if you're doing a stealth mission, then you'll bring these guys out, and you can look, I'll shut up for a minute and you guys can hear the silencer on this gun. I don't know if you can hear it because it's a silencer, but you can see that they're using the same gun as the rest of the infantry, but except these guys have just got silencers on it, and these guys are a wee bit less loaded out than these guys, but I would say these guys are much stronger on impact. So these infantry would be good against very high other tier, or same tier as, you know, the Russian one, which I haven't done yet, the Russian infantry. So if let's say your enemy is the Russian faction and they bring out their very much strongest infantry squad, this is where you'll need your KSK, because you can be sneaky and you can flank around and you can kill them with your silenced guns. So, and of course they do have their standards. Oh, these guys actually have C4 on them, and they have flashbangs, and they have smoke, and they have normal grenades, so a wee bit more than the other infantry groups. So yes, there you go, that is the German infantry group. Now if there's more that needs to be explained, please do let me know in the comments, but other than that, I think that's it. And also, if there are any Germans fans out there, let me know if I've missed anything, or if I'm correct, or I need to fix anything or I've said, so let me know. Moving on to kind of the support groups now. Now I wonder, can anyone find where the snipers are, considering there's a lot of dead bodies over here, but they're actually right here. Now I tried to kind of make them disguised kind of in the background, but I'm sure you probably already saw them. So yes, you have your sniper squad over here. Now, as you know, with sniper squads, they're going to be covered up in bushes, everything to kind of camouflage for where they are. So this is if you're in a long ranged battle and you need support, then your sniper squad are definitely gonna, definitely gonna help you get most effectiveness out of this. So I'm not going to shoot any of my friendlies, but you can see that these guys are again kind of are very much similar to the other snipers, but I would say these guys, the guns are different. These guys use the G3A3, so again definitely sniper rifles, and these guys are really good at, as you know, as long range. I'm not even going to tell you that. Now they do use, I think they use different, so the sniper squads do use different guns. So this soldier uses the G3A3, and this soldier uses the G22, which I feel like is probably more accurate because it's got a scope and it's actually got a stand on it as well. But let me know in the comments down below, because I'm not too great at guns and the difference between guns. All I know is that that they're sniper rifles and they're very powerful. That's about it. But as you know, the sniper squads do have a knife, they have a flashbang, they have grenades, and they have a smoke. So again, very similar to the layout of the normal infantry, except these guys are just more sneakier, have a bush around them, and they are a lot more stealthier. So yeah, that is the sniper squad. Moving on to these guys. Now these guys are the German Elite Marks squad, if I can remember. The Elite Marksman's team. Yes, so that's who they are. Now these guys have the very much similar layout towards the sniper squad, but these guys are the Elite Marksman squad. So these guys will definitely help you. Again, I guess these guys are kind of like support groups, but are actually, I think these guys were actually meant to be scout squads, but German Elite Marksman, but I thought I brought out scout squad, but never mind. Anyway, never mind all these dead bodies over here, just ignore them. They were using up space, so I had to kill them all. Anyway, so these guys are again very good for helping you with if you're in a bad situation, and these guys are kind of like snipers, but they're stealthy snipers, but more of wait, stealthy snipers? That doesn't make sense. They're less stealthy than snipers, but they're good for kind of close range. I would say they're close range snipers. How about that? Because you can see they do have the same kind of camouflage on, but they just don't have sniper rifles. And the guns are actually different. These are G36A2s, I think, is that. And actually, these three soldiers actually use different guns. So this soldier uses again the G36A2, this soldier uses the G36KA4. So I haven't really tested neither of them out, but you can see that this one's kind of like a one shot, whereas this thing is very much of a kind of a very much fast rapid rifle, and this thing is the G36A2, so the same as the other sniper. So again, very different, but very effective again with the guns, and being kind of these guys are basically close range snipers. That's what they are. And again, with the infantry, what they have smoke, grenade, and a knife. I don't know if that's all of them. Yeah, I think it's all of them. I should have really done this before recording, but anyway. And moving on to our last infantry squad, our last support area. Now I would fit more, but again I didn't have enough points, so I only brought out the sniper squad, the elite marksman team, and I think these are, and the fire team, I think these are the fire team. Yeah, so the fire team again are just support groups, nothing else to it, except these again these guys are just a small squad of the bigger squads, again just a much smaller size, and it's very good against kind of very close range, against helping your infantry in battle. If you're low on infantry and you need more, then these are kind of like the cheap options of infantry. So again, these are just fire teams. So again, you've got your MG3, you've got your G36A2, and you've got your G36A2. So these guys are just support smaller squads of the kind of the MG troops, or the paragrenaders, or panzer thingies, or the KSK, or whatever they are. I forget, you know what I mean. But anyway, yeah, so that is it, and unfortunately again I couldn't get anything else out because my calculation popped, but I'm sure you know what the rest of what they look like, but I might bring out some more. Now, moving on to the main event, which I think you guys will really like, is the tanks. Now, here we are. Now, to be honest, this took me like half an hour, 20 minutes setting this all up, so please to give me some credit. So, we have a line here. Now, we'll be moving on to the kind of, again, support armored division, I guess you could say. So these guys are in more, I would say these guys again in the support armored, with kind of these guys with the armored truck. So I would say all these three are put into kind of this one area as well, but you've got kind of like actually this is more of like the artillery, so you've got your artillery piece over here, which I'll move on to in a minute, but in the meantime you've got your your dingo. Now the reason I didn't bring out all of it is because again I'm not going to bring out all three when they look very similar, but the only difference is that they have different guns. So this one just has a kind of a grenade or a 7.62 millimeter kind of machine gun. So again, I'm not going to bring out anything. They're all the same, just with different guns. Again, with this vehicle, you've got the G2, you've got the GTK Boxer. So again, I'm not going to bring all three of them out because I couldn't, and also because they're all the same, but they just have different guns. So you can see this thing, it just is a 40mm grenade launcher, so you can see that it's very good for killing infantry and also lightly armored vehicles. And again, this dingo would be good for just killing infantry and again light armored vehicles such as the technicals you get with the rebels or the GRM. So very good. And then again, now I would actually bring out I was thinking about bringing out the SP Panzer 1A3, but you guys have already seen that in an episode of mine which I did in one of the campaigns in the Air and Land Battle deal mod, which I already have. So which is a series that I've done, and that's probably one of my most popular series in Cult Arms. So if you haven't seen it, you'll see a mixture of German vehicles as well. So that's why I didn't bring out the SP Marder 1A3, because you guys have already seen it. And if you haven't seen it, then go back to the Air and Land mod series, which I'll leave in the description down below. And again, you'll see some German vehicles which I won't bring out because you guys already seen. So moving on to again the armored division, which is again here, and this thing actually you haven't seen. This is the SPZ Puma. Now the one but Zero, isn't that the one in the Airland, the series, the Airland mod DLC? What am I saying? The Airland mod series, but no, this is actually the one I was talking about, is the SP Panzer 1A3, which is basically a smaller version of this. This is the SP Puma. SPZ Puma, and this thing is, actually I've never seen this vehicle before myself, which is why I wanted to show it to you guys, because this thing has it's a 30mm AP, and it can definitely destroy something like that artillery or lightly armored vehicles like this. So again, this tank would be good against very lightly armored vehicles and some lightly armored tanks as well, such as, you know, maybe artillery or I'm trying to very light armored vehicles. I'm trying to think of tanks that are very lightly armored, like, I don't know, or you can even get to the side of tanks. Like I could probably get to the side of this Leopard and shoot it, but a very good flanking vehicle. And this thing actually has 80 GMs as well, and yep, there you go. So I don't know, and you definitely get your worth out of your money for this vehicle, if I can speak. So definitely a vehicle worth investing in if you're going against kind of more again lightly armored vehicles. But again, if the enemy start bringing it to kind of medium light armor, if I can speak, then this vehicle is definitely a vehicle or a tank to bring out, because it only has 25 to 50 millimeters of armor all around. You can see it doesn't look very well armored, but if you bring this thing out against, you know, that the enemy that doesn't have any tanks, then this vehicle is very, very useful and very powerful. So yes, and it has smoke screen as well, and also has 3 crews, so it's actually very easy to load. And this thing actually has this, the Boxer has 3 crew as well, and this thing has 3 crew as well, and you get 2 extra infantry squads in the back as well, just for a wee bit of support, just to support this vehicle as it goes on. So yeah, very interesting. Okay, moving on now to the tanks, the ones that you've all wanted to see. Now, I had a bunch of... Now, you only get 3 options for picking tanks. You only get the SPZ Puma, which is over here. You get the Leopard 2A4, which is over here. And then you get the Leopard 2A5. Now, I think in one of my missions in the Air and Land mod series I've done, there was the Leopard 2A5 or 2A4. So, I brought them both out anyway. And the artillery as well, which you guys have not seen, which I only did as a thumbnail yesterday, but now I've actually got it here with me. And this thing is powerful as hell. This thing is really powerful. As you can see, I'm not going to shoot, I'll shoot up if I can get it over here. I just want to shoot blind, and I'll let you guys listen to the sound of this vehicle, because it is actually really amazing and really strong. And I found out what this this bar means along here. That just means you can only go in first person or advanced first person for so long. So basically, if this thing goes past the line, then it'll take you out of first person mode. Okay, let's just shoot. Yeah. And yeah, you can see it's definitely a powerful artillery and a sexy one to at it. So it's definitely not a vehicle to be reckoned with. So the artillery would be good against large groups of infantry, or if they're, let's say you're attacking a trench, you're attacking, or you're making an offense if I can speak, then, and all the enemies dig, you know, trenched in and they've got their defense up, then the artillery would be very, very useful to use, and can definitely make a mark and can definitely, you know, damage them and, you know, basically lower them. You can basically lower the defense. And this thing also uses a HE smoke shell, which is really nice, which I will fire off as soon as this thing gets loaded. So while that's loading, we'll move on to the main, kind of the main event, the tanks. Now you have the Leopard 2A4, which has been featured before on this channel, I think, in one of the missions. And this thing is a beast, 120mm gun, and it does fire either APFSDS or HE, and the AP, I would say, is very much wise to use against heavily armored vehicles, such as if you're going against an Abrams or a T-64 or T-67, or let's say T-80Us, then this tank is very much useful in this fight. And then you've got the boss, or the big daddy, which is the Leopard 2A5. Now this thing is, the turret looks like something from like the UFO or something. It's really, really scary. Again, uses the same gun and can definitely hold its ground again against big heavily armored vehicles such as T-80Us, M1A2 Abrams, or, you know, big armored vehicle Abrams. So it definitely is a gun, not a tank, not to be reckoned with. Again, uses actually this tank uses APDFS, the same as the 2A4. It uses actually HE, and it uses heat, so you can now use heat against targets, but it's highly unlikely if the tank has like a cage around them, which kind of stops the heat rounds going through. So I'm going to fire the smoke off, so let's just fire smoke off, and there you go. And just to cover our troops, then it is a very, the artillery is very useful for many situations, for attacking, for defending as well. If you're defending and you want to slow down the enemy, then the artillery is very useful as well. So the artillery is actually a very, very useful piece of machinery. And then again, the Leopard 2A4, again, just very useful. It actually has 2 machine guns. You've got you can see my commander, the guy at the top. You can see me shooting again, good against infantry, and then you switch to 3. The other machine gun comes out the turret, or side the turret beside the gun. So, and then you've got your main one, which I can't do because the first person mode just went out. But yeah, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. That is mostly the full German faction. Now, if there is anything that I missed, please do let me know in the comments down below. I know this is a very long video, probably 45 minutes, close to an hour, but I just wanted to get this video done, and I wanted just to get a few things off my mind when it comes to this DLC. Again, I just don't understand why Call to Arms have released this and not released the single player. I just feel like I feel like I've just been cheated on my money, and it doesn't really feel nice. I mean, all we can use the factions for is for the conquest mode, and again, if you're doing a multiplayer, and if you have the DLC, then you can use it. But other than that, I just think that I've been slightly cheated. But yes, there you go, guys. That is it for today's video. I'd just like to say thank you so much for watching. If you did watch all the way, then please do leave a like, and if you did enjoy it and want to see you want me to do the Russian faction, then please do leave a like, leave a comment saying that you want me to do the Russian faction, and subscribe if you're new. So there we go, guys. If you haven't seen my last Call to Arms video, which was doing my first gameplay on the conquest mode, then make sure you go check that out as well, which was yesterday. Other than that, guys, I just like to say thank you so much for watching and all your support, and I will see you in the next video. See you later, and goodbye.